watch one of this guy's videos, but before we do that, let's do some hog watch. And by that, I mean, we're not even watching hogs, really. We're watching the hogs rise up, liberate themselves from their chains.
For 39 years from New Jersey. I've never been involved in politics before, but this is getting really scary. Okay, so the things that frighten me is the way this insane president talks about Canada as a 51st state. Taking Panama by force and buying Greenland. How does this person qualify as sane? Why is he not being impeached right now?
You better be like, get that traitorous flag out of here. It's illegal. It's terrorism to have the Canadian flag. You will only fly the Unionist flag of Canada now that Canada is officially under the American Protectorate. Yeah, look out, lady. You called Trump insane. That's terrorism. You might get some serious penalties for that sort of thing nowadays, you know?
So, in short, I don't support us absorbing Canada. Canada, that would be like taking... Canada's been a good neighbor. Canada is much more liberal and left-wing than the United States. If we took Canada, taking Canada would be like taking another California. It would tilt things towards the Democrats.
Oh, that's what's stopping you. Okay. Dude, what a... Brilliant. Yeah, the real issue is if we take Canada, they're too libtard. We're just gonna be liberal. That's unironically the reason why we didn't seize more Mexican territory back in the day, because people were so racist. They were like, that would mean we would have to live alongside more Mexicans. We don't want that.
Yeah. If we took Canada, the Republicans would never have control again. So we don't want that to happen. On the other two, if we could get Greenland peacefully, I'm all for it, and we should have never given up Panama.
This is a question that comes from Barbara and can serve as our concluding question for the night regarding checks and balances between the different branches of government. Given the trajectory of the administration, the continued agreement of the Republican Party, is there a line in the sand for you? That is to say, is there any point at which you might stand up and tell them no? What is...
No. The answer is no. Let's be for real. I don't care what he says. We know the real answer is no.
In the interest of your people in Eastern Washington, what is your line in the sand?
Well, in general, I swore an oath to the Constitution. It's very serious to me. I swore an oath to the Constitution before I went to Iraq. I swore an oath to the Constitution becoming a member of Congress. I would say that I understand this room is different than the rest of Eastern Washington, but you guys, you are. So,
y'all are wrong.
I think, and I'm not saying you're being, I'm not saying you're being disingenuous in your heart of hearts, but you have a perception that America is spiraling to some kind of a constitutional crisis. Yeah. And by and large, while I would have some disagreements with President Trump on some things like tariffs and some other issues, by and large, what people of America see, what people of Eastern Washington see, is President Trump delivering on his promises. And so,
well, numerous town halls are scheduled to take place across the country, and if recent town halls are any indication, tempers will be running high. Here's Republican Congressman Michael Baumgardner's town hall in Spokane, Washington last night. Watch this.
You have a perception that
it's so cooked. Like in 2016, 2017, there was this attitude amongst the Republicans to at least like openly acknowledge that it was shameful, like Trump was behaving in a shameful manner. They're so gone. That's gone are those days, baby. And with no opposition whatsoever, the only thing you're going to see is just like voters actively freaking out. That's it. Yeah, I thought it was Spokane, but chatters are saying no, it's Spokane.
America is spiraling to some kind of a constitutional crisis. Yeah. By and large, what people of America see, what people of Eastern Washington see, is President Trump delivering on his promises. And so,
And Democrats are also feeling the heat from voters. Here's what one frustrated Medicaid recipient told Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego at a town hall in Scottsdale.
We're trying to shield ourselves before we're wounded, and we don't know how. Would you mind telling your colleagues in Washington that when they're burning down this house, there's people still inside? My kid is inside.
A lot of emotion and passions there. We're joined now by CNN Chief Congressional Correspondent Manu Raju. You know, Manu, typically during recess, as members of Congress are in right now, they hold these town halls, but you don't typically see this kind of fiery reaction.
Yeah, you really don't. In fact, this reminds me a lot about 2010 during the old Tea Party wave, and as the Obamacare was being pushed through Congress, we saw Democratic members at the time really getting a lot of backlash from voters. This time you're seeing Republicans also in a lot of the cuts, spending cuts that have been happening, the DOGE effort and the like, a lot of anxiety among voters. Republican leaders have counseled their members not to have town halls because they're concerned about these viral moments distracting from their message. They contend that some of this is manufactured, but it's clearly some real constituent concern as well. There is also concern on the Democratic side of the aisle, as you saw there from those Democratic senators from Arizona feeling some heat because members are not happy with their own party. We saw that from CNN polling this week about how they are held in such low regard among Democratic voters. And of course, this comes as amid this leadership battle that is facing Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, his decision to allow the government to be funded by this Republican spending bill, not block this, battling with the House Democrats as well. Earlier today, when he was asked about whether he would step aside, he made clear that he was going to stay as Democratic leader, said he was the best person for that position. What will be interesting today is Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democratic leader, is having his own press conference today. The last time he had a press conference on Friday, he was asked, does he have confidence in Chuck Schumer? He said, next question. What will he say today when he is asked about this very same question? We'll see what he has to say there, because Democrats are trying to get on the same page after this really messy internal battle.
They certainly are. And the two leaders met on Sunday after that press conference. So we'll see if if he changes his tune after meeting with Schumer. Thank you so much, Mani Raju. Wolf?
And it's interesting that Manu still can join us here in the Situation Room because the House and Senate are in recess.
Yes, we love having you
Otherwise,
here.
you'd be chasing those guys through the halls of
It's
Congress.
very nice to sit down every once in a while, Wolf.
Good to have you in the Situation Room.
Respect us! We already decided already!
This one's my favorite. This is the best one, especially because he's such a funny looking guy and his facial expressions throughout this process are hilarious. When they start screaming tax the rich, he's just like, oh, I don't know what you're saying.
A heated town hall.
Whoa! Showing a lot of leftists out here. Hey. Yo, chill out with these radical Black Panther Party Maoist third worldists out here. Yo! I didn't know Nebraska ran like that. I didn't know Nebraska was equipped with the revolutionary potential of a developing nation that has been undermined by global capital, Western Empire. I didn't realize these were the real Maoist guerrillas.
Debate in Columbus, Nebraska for Republican Congressman.
Yeah, we went from Antifa to Grantifa. Antifa. Goddamn. Someone said baddies. They are baddies. That's a bad bitch right there. That's a bad bitch that wants Social Security to remain what it is. That's the baddest bitch.
Mike Flood. Politics, it can be passionate. It can also be polarizing.
Tonight, all of that is on display as Nebraska voters want answers to real-life decisions impacting them. First Alert 6 reporter Bella Caracta has our coverage.
As Republican lawmakers are being discouraged to hold town halls, Nebraska Republican Congressman Mike Flood powered on.
Let's talk about that. So your proposal to solve this is to tax the rich.
He's like, yeah, okay. So your proposal to solve the budget is to tax the rich. You're so stupid. Coors Light Cowboy, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. I've been forgetting to ask you to subscribe. Subscribe! For $6 or free with a Twitch Prime. If you would like to support the show, you can get the new badges, also emotes, and the opportunity to send me links. That's right. Subscribe. For $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub.
Nebraskans grilled Flood from Social Security to international relations.
20. Stifo Magnifico, thank you for 5.
Yes.
Naruto A&B from 2007, thank you for 5.
Canada is a longtime important ally of the United States of America.
This tense town hall is just a snapshot of politics across America, with others in North Carolina highlighting discontent with Republican political leaders for not pushing back against President Trump's cuts in federal funding programs such as the VA or support for Russia's Vladimir Putin.
Would you agree that your constituents are the boss of you, not President Trump?
I am accountable to you.
For 90 minutes, about 400 Nebraskans attended the town hall.
It's so funny that all of these guys have been like, these are paid actors. These are radical Antifa leftists. Like, that's what they keep saying about all of the people that go to the Republican town halls. And then you see the town halls and it's this. It's always this. It is the most this-ass town hall you've ever seen. One after the next. Like, when I look at this picture, I don't think like these are radical young college campus activists, okay? I think of the name Eustace, a name that no one is named anymore, unless it's a trans lady who decided to name herself that, okay? Nobody fucking calls women Eustace anymore. There is no There's no Eustaces. There's no Gertrudes. They're in the room. This is the Eustace. This is the Gertrude. This is the Beatrice. Okay? That's it. This is the Ethel, the Agatha. They are the ones who are yelling. Ain't nobody's naming their fucking children these names anymore. You know the last time they did that. Last time a person was named that was basically pre-civil rights. Okay? If your resistance movement is comprised of people that are named Ethel and Eustace, then yeah, it's not fucking woke college campus activists. Trans girl erasure? No, I already said that. The only people that are named Ethel or Eustace or those like old school ass names is trans ladies now. Okay, that's it. That's it.
Many taking aim at Congressman Flood.
Is there anything you will do to stand up against Trump?
A great majority of Nebraskans and those in the 1st District voted to elect Donald Trump president in this state.
To many voters, what's happening seems like chaos. For Jeremy Aspen, he says he doesn't recognize the Republican Party, a political party that had always been part of his life.
At a certain point, you just feel like it isn't a fit anymore.
This week, the Omaha man switched parties.
It's a lot easier when the ground shifts under you.
What did it mean?
Dude, it's so funny. Like, Nebraska is such a tiny ass fucking state that when one guy in Omaha changes party loyalty, it makes it to the local news. I love that. Like, what the hell, man? This Omaha man changed party affiliations. But is it far too late? What the fuck?
To be a Republican for you.
Individual rights and freedom, especially free markets.
Aspen, what?
Talk about your real country, you shill. Dude, I did. I did for hours in the beginning. Will you talk a bit about Hasan? I've been a big fan. As Turkish immigrants to America living on the East Coast, we're visiting LA. Would be cool to join the stream or something when we're there. Love politics/comedy. Did politics at Harvard, not to brag, just to get your attention. Show some love to the Turkic Americans, maybe. I don't know. God damn, dude. All that Harvard education, and you couldn't even fucking figure out to search, to Google, to see if to go to the VOD, to see if I actually had covered this thing. That's crazy. Talk about it when I'm here. Yeah, that's basically what this is. It's like, you might have covered it, but I wasn't here, so you might as well have not covered it. I have no object permanence.
Was a member of the Douglas County Republican Party, the Nebraska Republican Party, and a delegate to conventions. Now he's a Democrat. Why register as a Democrat and not nonpartisan or libertarian?
If you're going to affect real change, I do think mechanically it just works if you work within that two-party system.
In Omaha, I'm Bella Caracta, First Alert 6.
Aspen now believes Democrats have an opportunity to shift back to center.
We want you to show fight, and you are not fighting.
See, that's a lib right there, okay? That right there, you can tell. He put some stink on it. Like, that is a lib right there, okay?
Fighting.
At this town hall in Forestville, Maryland, Congressman Glenn Ivey got a healthy dose of the idea that even a friendly crowd can turn on you, and on a couple of occasions
Yeah. We need to shift to the center right now. It's real centrism hasn't been tried. Real centrism has never been tried. Real centrism has only been thwarted. Real centrism is not something that simply fails. It can only be failed. Real centrism has never been implemented because the CIA always thwarts the efforts of doing real centrism. One day we will have real centrism. America will be a real centrist, a transitional centrist state with American characteristics. Okay. One day we will have the radical centrism that I wanted. Okay. I wanted always and forever. It's just not here yet. It will get here one day. Okay. Centrism cannot fail. Centrism can only be failed. Just wanted to make sure that everybody knows I'm a nuanced centrist. You didn't even get the best exchange. This is a poop. Is it a poop song?
A better person to audit our government for waste, fraud, and abuse than the inspectors general that Donald Trump fired, because Elon Musk has conflicts of interest out the wazoo. He gets $40 billion
Okay, this might be a Hasanabi head. I'm gonna be honest. Like, this is probably
a year in federal contracts from the.
This looks a little bit more like a Hasanabi head style situation. Okay, I will take ownership over this one. All right. I don't know which one of you actually went there and spoke out on the microphone, but you know, the previous old ladies were definitely not a part of the coalition, but this is a parasocialist out there.
From the federal government.
Trouble hearing you. Can you slow down a little bit?
Elon Musk gets $40 billion a year in funding from the federal government. What makes you think that has no conflict of interest, that he has no conflict of interest? Do you think he would cut that before he would cut our Medicare or our Social Security or our jobs?
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
Boo! Boo! Look at this dipshit's face when he gets booed. Look at him. Oh, man.
Efficiency.
Yeah, that didn't really work well in that crowd, did it? Damn, dude.
Next question.
Oh my God, that was so loud. It killed my brain. I'm sorry. Online public comment on Delaware 2B21 off to a hot start. Let's see what this is.
Fascist Nazi billionaires are taking over this country and firing federal employees en masse and trying to annex Canada and arresting dissent, blah, blah, blah. And this bill gives billionaire Nazis more power and not less power. Nazis are taking over and we're actually leaning into it. This is somehow dumber than what Cuck Schumer did. And no matter what you say, it really is because Elon was here a while ago. Because you're like, Daddy Musk, tell me what you want. I'll pass your bills. I'll suck your toes. I'll carry your babies. I'll sig hail, but not really.
Oh, it did
Okay,
the
look,
blowjob noises.
all of you who voted for or will vote for this garbage, you are a traitor not only to the state and nation, but humanity itself. Objectively speaking, the world would be better off had you never been born. But it's not too late. You can still Bud Dwyer yourselves. At least I would enjoy watching that. So, yeah, let's go with that one. Motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
That's blowjob noises. I wrote about the bill, which just passed the House committee and will now head to the floor. Elon Musk told corporations to leave Delaware. Here's what happened next. Senator Lisa Murkowski said at a presser in Alaska yesterday that Elon Musk may take the next $1 billion that he makes off Starlink and put it directly against her. As the GOP colleagues are silent because they're afraid they're going to be taken down or primaried.
Why aren't you a better Republican? And if you're not, get out of the party. You know what? You know what?
By the way, I do want to say something, but listen. These people are they're fraudulent. Okay? They're fraudulent. They're the whole like, oh, you know, I'm going to do dissent. Like, it's bullshit. Okay?
until Alaskans tell me, Lisa, it's just not working anymore, I'm going to give you every last breath that I have, and I'm going to try to solve.
Dude, you can't, because you're already riling her up by petting her. Let her out. Okay, you can play with her if you want.
Every little problem, and I'm not going to compromise my own integrity by hiding from my words when I feel they need to be spoken. I'm going to take the criticism that comes, and it may be that Elon Musk has decided he's going to take the next $1 billion that he makes off of Starlink and put it directly against Lisa Murkowski. And you know what? That may happen. But I'm not giving up 1 minute, one opportunity to try to stand up for Alaskans. But I got to figure out how to do that, and I need Alaskans' help to tell me what they're feeling, so that I can help deal with that. It is, you know, I don't mean to be critical of you. You and I, we can spar at these things, and I actually like the engagement.
Boo, I don't care. Fucking actually put up a strong opposition. If you have any sort of real ideological commitments, get out of here. Tom Tillis released new voicemails, but it might be too spicy for the stream.
I'm just calling to let you know that I listened to the Raleigh News and Observer.
Why does Tom Tillis keep posting his L's like this? It just like it doesn't make any sense. He's just like, yeah, that's right, I'm Tom Tillis, and all of my constituents want to assassinate me. Here are their words. And it's just like why? Why are you posting this? Everybody feels this way, and you're just it's only going to get worse. You know what I mean? Hello, my name is Tom Tillis. all my constituents want to assassinate me in increasingly more violent ways that they describe in gruesome detail. They also keep saying where their home addresses are, what their occupation is, basically goading me to call Secret Service on them. It seems that many of these, the average age of my constituents that keep saying death threats to me seems to be around 55 years old, as in the primary age for being an active voter for either party. It seems odd that they are so careless in the way that they are doing death threats. I do not understand it. It must mean that they're being brutally honest about their hatred for me. Now, of course, for legal reasons, we disavow. This is unacceptably violent rhetoric. I mean, how could people get so angry? That's right. That's a great question. How could people get so angry?
Their short video where they released some of the threatening phone calls and messages that you've been getting. And I just wanted to let you know that has just been absolutely the joy of my week, listening to those. My favorite one was the really old guy who threatened to, I think he threatened to bash your head in with an axe handle. That one was hands down my favorite. But anyway, that was the most joy I have felt in weeks. So if you could please release some more, that would be awesome. And the comments that supported that video were just, they were just chef's kiss.
How did he see this and not realize like this is having the opposite effect?
They were so good. I saved it so I can listen to them over and over again and then read the comments. It's so good. So please keep releasing those. Keep those coming. It's giving me life, and it's about the only thing these days it is that you're doing. So yeah, keep them coming, and I'll look forward.
Yeah, I immediately looked for comments after she mentioned the comments. Comments turned off.
To some more.
Oh God, it's so loud. Fuck.
You, Tom, any of you who work for him. You guys forgot free speech was a thing. I hope Tom gets. I might drive to North Carolina and shoot him dead in the streets like the
okay, the problem here is that's not protected speech. Okay? That's not protected. You cannot. Okay, here, I'll give you an example. You cannot say that as a constituent, you are going to go and shoot Tom Tillis in the streets like the dog he is. You can't say that. That is not free speech. It's funny, but I disavow. You can't say that. You will get a call from Secret Service.
The dog he is. He's scared of death threats. We're scared of the way he is going to turn our country into a by taking bribes and siding with the oligarchs. I hope Tom gets kidnapped and his wife and children and his children's children get tortured in front of him. I might come do it myself. You're all going to die. Tom's going to die when the bullet hits his brain and he drops to the ground and the blood starts pouring out of his head. All the patriotic...
It's so crazy because I get all of this. I am a recipient of gruesome death threats such as this one all the time. And it's pretty funny because like I always want to, when I look at it, I'm like, what direction will this go? You know, what direction will the death threat go? This is unique. Like the whole, I will torture multiple generations of your family, your next of kin is pretty wild. That's like some Bible shit, and not even like new Bible, none of that woke Bible shit. I'm talking Old Testament. It's crazy. This guy definitely is getting a visit from the feds for sure.
Americans will be thankful, cheering, clapping when his office blows up and everyone inside that is contributing along with him dies. All of us patriotic Americans will be clapping, joyous. I can't wait. I can't wait till Tom is dead. The time is coming. Look out.
Hey, I saw you released all the death threats, and I just wanted to say, good for them. You guys deserve it. I hope you get more. I hope they get worse. I hope you are scared to come out of your house and leave your office, and I hope you do die soon. I just want you to know that the only thing I hope and pray for every day is your death. You have taken all of the hope, all of the will out, except to hope and will and pray that you die every day. I hope one of those people that sent you death threats comes and does their due diligence for this country. Every single day I wake up and I hope and pray that you don't take another breath. Have a terrible, awful day. I also hope everybody you love and care about, every member of your family, also experiences that same fate.
I hope, I really hope that you either meet the guillotine soon.
The guillotine. Yeah, she took time while on the walk to work to be like, here's a message for Tom Tillis. I think the reason why the beeps are so loud is because, like, if anyone enjoys this conversation, I feel like they are. I feel like they're trying to make you deaf. You're like, oh, you wanted to hear the next drop of Tom Tillis death threats? Well, guess what? You're gonna get punished for it.
Or have a come to Jesus moment where you realize that Marie Antoinette asked everybody in France to eat cake. And in comparison, we are not driving fucking Teslas.
That's crazy. Yeah, I disavow, of course. These people are on your side, Jake. Remember that. Watch the first vid. I already did. It was filled to the brim with statements that I disavow, of course.
In this town hall, the crowd did turn on him.
The message that was sent by Democrats in Congress with the CR catastrophe was clear. It's not that you're in the minority, it's that you aren't even working together on a shared strategy. And that is failure. We are not interested in hearing that you are in the minority. We know that. We want you to show some of the backbone and strategic brilliance that Mitch McConnell would have in the minority.
Thank you for being polite with us, but when it comes to fighting these fights, we need you to be a little bit less polite, a little bit more hell no instead of a little bit no.
That's, dude, you can look at the energy of the people the liberals that go to Democratic lawmaker town halls, and then look at the energy of people that are, calling into Tom Tillis's office or going to the Republican town halls. God damn, dude. Like, that's the difference between an NPR lib who just gets a steady dose of NPR every day and watches MSNBC all the time and is like, can you please respectfully do something? I would like it. Meanwhile, the Republicans or constituents at the Republican town halls are like, if you don't change trajectory, I will change it for you. I will change your oil next time you're at a Jiffy Lube. And it turns out I've done more than that. I put a bomb under your car. It will explode with your children in it. Like what the fuck? The difference is stark, okay? Liberals are like, please, it would be really nice if you were to maybe not allow the Republicans to, undermine the federal government and dismantle the regulatory apparatus by laying off tens of thousands of employees. That would be so nice. That's awesome.
Fair enough.
And there may be a time when you and other congresspeople need to do civil disobedience. You need to be arrested.
Sure.
And I will go with you. I will stand next to you and be arrested.
My lead source tonight is the independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. And Senator, it's great to have you here because you issued your own rebuke, as I'll call it, and basically said that you think President Trump needs to turn off Fox News and, quote, read the Constitution.
Look, the guys who wrote the Constitution back in the 1790s were nobody's fools. What they wanted to do is have a separation of...
It's my moot, yeah. I'll be hanging out with him tomorrow. Açma. Oğlum açıp çikolatayı mı yiyeceksin?
Powers between the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary so that one person could not assume enormous power. And what you are seeing right now is a president who is authoritarian. He just attacked the media the other day. I think he called CNN illegal because I gather that now and then you criticize him. He is trying to encroach on the constitutional responsibilities and spending powers of Congress. And now he's going after the courts. Look, if somebody is a corrupt judge, that person can and should be impeached. But not because you voiced an opinion. That's why these guys have life terms. So they are immune from these types of attack, and they can be objective in their judgment. And just a word here. In the last number of years, and I'm not a great fan of Chief Justice Roberts, you have had decisions from the Supreme Court on Citizens United, which allow billionaires to buy elections, one of the worst decisions in the history of the Supreme Court. You didn't see a whole lot of people saying impeach Roberts and members of the court. You had this horrible decision on Roe versus Wade, taking away women's rights to control their own bodies. Again, we live in a society of rule of law. Supreme Court has its power. Judges have their power. And it should frighten every American, whether you're conservative or progressive, that you have a president who does not respect our Constitution and wants more and more power for himself. Very dangerous.
What does it say that the Chief Justice, who, that's a great point, you have also criticized decisions that the Supreme Court has made with John Roberts as the Chief Justice, but what does it say that he felt the need to come out and issue this rebuke of Trump tonight?
Well, I don't know Roberts all that well. I'm not a great fan of his court, but I think he does understand, I suspect, the danger of a president who does not respect the Constitution of the United States and wants more and more power for himself.
It would take 67 senators to remove a judge from the federal bench. That would mean that every Republican would have to vote for it, and I believe 14,
gonna happen. No,
14
don't
Democrats.
Have to go into it. It's not going to happen. Okay, period.
Just,
we don't have to. But what we have to worry about is this movement toward authoritarianism. Trump admires and loves people. He thinks they're great. They're beautiful people when they agree with him. But if you criticize them, you're acting illegally, you should be impeached, you're terrible, etc. You're a left-wing fanatic, whatever he calls people. A very dangerous trend. Look, I don't have to tell anybody that we are living in difficult times. And it's not only this movement toward authoritarianism, it's this movement toward oligarchy, where you have a number of billionaires running the United States government, where you're seeing right now with Musk and others massive attacks against veterans. And the Veterans Administration, they want to lay off some 80,000 people in the VA who provide health care to our veterans, who make sure they get the benefits that they deserve. You're now seeing a massive attack on Social Security. Presumably they want people with disabilities to now walk in to some Social Security office, although they're cutting back on these Social Security offices all over this country. And at the end of the day, Caitlin, in my view, you got a bunch of these oligarchs who want to destroy virtually every program in America that works for working class people, so that you have massive tax breaks to the 1% and the billionaire class.
Yeah.
And as you may know, I'll be on the road with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the next few days, trying to fight back against this horrific set of activities.
Yeah, you've been on this anti-oligarchy tour. You've been making stops. I mean, it's really, notable to see the crowds and how many people are showing up. We're showing one of the pictures of you speaking here. And you've been going to all over, I know, to Colorado, to Wisconsin, all over the country. I know you have a lot more stops planned next week. What you just said about Elon Musk and what Trump are doing now that he's back in power, it's safe to say there's a lot of despair in the country over what Democrats are doing, how they're responding to this. You're an independent, but you caucus with the Democrats. I want you to listen to what happened at a town hall tonight with Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey.
You aren't even working together on a shared strategy. And that is failure. We are not interested in hearing that you are in the minority. We know that. We want you to show some of the backbone and strategic brilliance that Mitch McConnell would have in the minority.
Is that what you've been hearing out on the road, Senator?
I think there's a lot of discontent with the Democratic leadership. And I think with the entire
Be nice if Obama joined in on this fight. Oh, wait, Obama doesn't give a shit about anything but his own wealth. His dad is. Yeah, Obama's going to join in on the fight on the side of the Democratic establishment to be like, keep up the good work, Chuck. You're doing great. Yeah, if he joins the fight, it's going to be on the wrong side, okay? You don't want Obama joining this fight, all right?
Democratic Party. And one of the things that I and Alexandria will be trying to do is get people involved in...
What's he going to do, another Netflix series? He's going to drop another music playlist, dude.
...the political process, either as independents or as progressive Democrats, to stand up for a working class in this country, which is being hammered every single day. Real inflation accounted for wages have not gone up in 52 years, while the very richest people have become much richer. Our healthcare system is broken. Our housing system is broken. Our child care system is broken. We're not making the progress we need to address the climate crisis that we face. And yet the majority of the American people believe that we should have a government that works for them and not the few, which is what we have right now. So I hope we can rally the American people in so many ways to understand the critical moment that we're in and to get them to stand up and fight back, not only against Trump, but in the richest country in the history of the world, we should not be the only major country that doesn't guarantee health care to all people, or paid family and medical leave, or have 800,000 people sleeping out on the street. We're the richest country in the history of the world. we can have a government and an economy that works well for all.
When it comes to that effort in the Senate, do you think Senator Chuck Schumer is the right person to lead it?
It's not. I know everyone's beating up on Chuck, and I strongly disagree with him. Strongly. No one is in the caucus more critical of Schumer than I am. But it's not Schumer. It's the caucus. It's not the caucus. It's the Democratic Party. You got to take a deep breath and understand that you have a Democratic Party. You got a Republican Party, which is owned by Musk. Any Republican who defies Donald Trump will be primaried by Musk, unlimited amounts of money. In the Democratic Party, you got a party that is heavily dominated by the billionaire class, run by consultants who are way out of touch with reality. The Democratic Party has virtually no grassroots support. So what we are trying to do is, in one way or another, maybe create a party within the party of bringing millions of young people, working class people, people of color, to demand that the Democratic Party start standing with the working class of this country and take on the very powerful corporate interests that have never had it so good.
You've been out on the road hearing that from voters with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as you mentioned. People are saying she should primary Schumer. Do you think she'd be a formidable opponent if she did?
I don't want to go. Look, the issue right now is not worrying about a primary 3 years ago, 3 years from now, whenever it's going to be. That's media stuff, Caitlin. That's not what people are worried about.
It's Democratic voter stuff, too, though.
Wake up. What we have got to do now is wake up the American people. The vast majority of the American people do not believe that we should give tax breaks to billionaires and cut Medicaid, cut Social Security, cut veterans programs and nutrition. And our job is to rally the people at the grassroots level, have them run for school board or Congress or the Senate on an agenda that says that we're going to stand up for working class people, not the rich. That's what we've got to do in this moment.
And certainly, I mean, we have seen this at your town halls, and for people who haven't been watching where you've been going, I mean,
my moot, Caitlin Collins, interviewing my other moot, Bernie Sanders. What a time to be alive. My Twitter moot. My Twitter moots are talking to one another on CNN. It's so stupid.
Your stops across the country. It's been quite fascinating to see just the audience reaction. Senator, I do want to ask you, because tonight we have breaking news that President Trump has fired the 2 Democratic members of the Federal Trade Commission. Usually the president's party has 3 seats. The opposing has 2 on that board. No. Do you believe that move is illegal?
Yeah. I mean, he tried to get rid of the National Labor Relations Board people as well. Look, this is the guy, as I just mentioned a moment ago. He happens not to believe in the rule of law, not to believe in the Constitution, and he will try to exercise his power in any and every way. And the American people have got to stand up and stop him.
Senator Bernie Sanders, always appreciate your time, and thanks for taking time out of the tour to join us here on CNN.